Hello there again, David here. This is video 2, and this is on the visual focus versus the camera recording focus. So what does that mean? A few people have been talking about having issues getting the the camera synced with the microscope. So when you're looking through your eyepieces, you're seeing an image. Now, when you're looking through your at your camera on your computer, you're probably seeing a different image, maybe too blurry, too dark. There's all kinds of stuff that can happen. But what I'm going to talk about today is getting your focus matched up between your camera, your computer, and your microscope visual. I'm going to cover a couple of other points on getting things fixed so you're not straining your eyes when you're doing this. So I have the trinocular, which is the camera on the top and the two eyepiece focuses. This is an Omax microscope. So one thing I'm going to start off with, which I guess I should start here, on your binocular lenses, if you have the binocular or trinocular scope, one thing you're going to notice is there's these settings on the side. Okay, so for the purpose of this video, I have set these to a particular way. It's hard to see, but there's actually a white dot right down here, and that is lined up with on this one 60, and on this one 75. Okay, so what you want to do is, it's best to start off at 65 and go up or down from there on your eyes, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But just so you know, set your points here to 65, and that will give you a pretty good setting if your eyes are, you know, pretty decent or pretty normal. If you're wearing glasses, I think it should be fine as well, but you may need to tweak those a little bit to get it to whatever your setting will be. But before we go there, let me start off by saying that the settings that I have right now are so that I can show you what most people have, and maybe I've set it a little bit too extreme, but you'll get the point of what I'm talking about. So let me flip this around. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to get this fixed, so that what you're seeing through the lenses will be the same as what you're seeing on your computer. Okay? Okay. So now, as you can see on my computer here, this is blurry. Okay? Now, that's not my camera, so if I focus here, okay, it's still blurry. So that means that my focus, okay, you have the large wheel in the back is your coarse focus, and the small wheel on the side is your fine focus. Okay? So you generally move this to focus in as close as you can to what's on your screen, and then you use your fine focus to get the details to come up. So I'm going to use my coarse focus right now and watch what happens to my screen. See how that goes in and out. So once you find something roughly where you need to get it, then if you can see this, you take your fine adjustment and you get it to where the details come in, for what you're looking for. Okay, so I'm going to get my screen, I'm using my fine focus right now to get this as sharp as I can on my screen, and I'm going to go in and out just to the point where I can find the outer limits. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to the middle. All right, so that right there looks to be sharp focus. Okay, on my camera I can see a lot of details. I can see the inside of the cell, for example. All right. So everything on here looks like it's in sharp focus. All right. Now that's key. I'm going to do it one more time because, this is one thing I want to point out. You may notice that something's come into focus at some point when everything else is blurry, and then these will come into focus and these will be blurry. So you're not looking at a flat image in your slide. You're actually looking at layers of images. So one thing may be on the top of your slide cover, one thing may be on the bottom of your slide cover, then one thing may be on your slide, and then something could be on the bottom of your slide, on the top of your slide and the bottom of your slide. So you've got a whole depth in between the slide and the slide cover that, depending on how sharp or how close you're focused in, can be affecting what you're seeing. So let me get this back into focus here. Hold on. And I'm actually looking at that pink cell right in the middle of my screen to get the sharpest focus. Okay, so this is what I'm going to be focusing on, this one here. Now I can see the details inside the cell, so this is focused. I'm going to try something. I tried this last night. It didn't work very well. Next thing you want to do, now that this is in focus, you want to look through one of your eyepieces to see that this is in focus, okay? If it's not in focus, you need to adjust this thing on the side until it's as sharp as what's on your screen, okay? So that this eyepiece matches your screen, okay? You're not going to focus down here anymore. You've already set this setting to focus on what your camera's seeing, okay? So now, I'm going to try something, and if you look in here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but, hold on, it's really hard to keep it steady for the camera. But basically, this is going to be blurry right now, okay? So because this is blurry, and this one, well, you can't really tell. But what my point is these two, because this is 60, this is 75, these are not going to see the same in my eyes unless my eyes are really that far off, okay? But also at this point, they're not going to be focused to this. So what I have to do is look through here and focus this one to where it's sharp. I'm going to close my left eye and look only through my right eye and get this in focus compared to my screen, okay? So I'm going to put this sideways. I don't know if you guys can see me or not, but I'm going to try. So I'm going to close my left eye, and I'm going to look through this with my right eye, and I'm going to adjust this until what's on my slide looks as sharp as what's in my screen, on my computer. Okay, that's sharp. Now if I look to my left eye and close my right eye, everything in here is blurry. So I'm now going to have to close my right eye and adjust. Sorry, I have to do this like this. And adjust my eyepiece to make it sharp like my left eye. Okay. Now, I just went past, so I'm going to come back. And your eye's going to fight you sometimes, so try to relax your eye as best you can. And if you have to, close your eye or look away, and then look back through the scope and see if it's sharp. Try not to make your eye focus on what's there, okay? Okay, that's sharp. Now what I'm going to do is open both eyes and look through here and make sure that both of them are in focus when I look through here, okay? So come up to this, look, and if one is not in focus, then I'm going to look away, let my eyes reset, look in here again and focus on one that's blurry. And I can close and open both eyes until they both look sharp, okay? So I'm noticing that one eye is a little bit blurrier than the other. And you know what? I think actually my eye is tearing up a little bit, so. Oh, there we go, okay. Got it, and then look at the right eye, make sure that's in focus. Okay, and then look at both eyes. Okay, great. So now both eyes are in focus. Now, why is that important? When you're looking, if your one eye is sharp and the other eye is blurry, and you're constantly focusing your eyes to try and see a clear image, it's going to give you headaches. It's going to stress your eyes, strain your eyes, and you're not going to be able to use your microscope as long as you should. So let me come back over here. All right. So this is in focus. This is in focus to that, and this is in focus to that, okay? So now these two together are in focus to that. So whatever I see in here, as I'm looking through my slides and I'm going through and seeing what's on the screen, everything here is going to match. So the problem I had originally when I got started was this was out of focus, and I just focused these to my eyes. And so, so everything I was recording was blurry. And so I'd have to stop what I was doing, look over to the screen, focus for the screen. And then when I looked into the microscope again, everything in here was blurry. So I had to keep going back and forth. Somebody had mentioned that they just put a rubber band in here to make it focus. The only problem is it's never gonna be perfect, right? You can put things in here, gaskets, rubber bands, whatever, but it's not gonna fix the problem, okay? The problem is this needs to be focused, and then adjust these to your screen, and that will give you perfect clarity across both. Now, the other thing, this is kind of a cool feature that I didn't know until I was playing with it. This mount comes out, okay? You can unscrew this, right? And take it out. But once it's all the way in, if this is in snug and you're having trouble getting the focus here, and let's just say something goes off a little bit, you can take this silver piece right here and rotate this, okay? Now, I gotta get it started because I usually crank it all the way down so I don't mess with it. Okay, now, there we go. Okay, this is tight, but now this unscrews, okay? This is a focusing adjustment. So you can put it in the middle and then go up and down depending on what you need to, but for my case, I mean, if you do this, you're changing your focus by increasing the length or the distance between the camera and the slide, okay? So you can do this too, okay? You can adjust this. The only problem is every time you're gonna have to tweak this back and forth all the time, okay? You don't wanna have to mess with this if you don't have to, because if you look, now it's blurry a little bit, all right? But this is still in focus. So this is a way to do it. If you have a permanent problem with your lens being out of focus, but it's a really easy fix. I'm gonna put this back down. It's a really easy fix if you just get your slide in here, focus your screen to be sharp, then come in here and adjust your lenses, your eyepieces to match your screen. Everything will be in focus, all right? So now, it's funny because last night, so normally, like I said, if you start this off at 65, you should be in focus. Last night I was at like 65 and a half, but for some reason my camera's a little bit out of focus today, and now I'm at like 66 and a half, okay? And this one, if you look, is pretty close to 65 also 65 and a half, 66, or 66 and a half. So these are both focused to the same distance, and they match this. So there you go. I hope that helps. I hope this has been an eye-opening experience. I've given you 2 ways to focus. Is you set your focus to your camera as best you can, and then you set these 2 focuses. That's option 1. And I mean, normally you're gonna do this one anyways. You're gonna get this one in focus, then you're gonna match this one to that, or get this one in focus and then match that one to that. And you can do it either way. Doesn't matter. I always start with my right eye and then go to my left eye. I'm right eye dominant, so that's part of the reason why. Option number 2 is you can set these up. If this is blurry, you come to this little adjuster tube and you go in or out, okay? Or I guess it's out or in, okay? And this shouldn't move, okay? This needs to be down. You're not unscrewing this. This is gonna be tight to the body. This does come as a separate piece when you get your microscope, but you're just adjusting this tube here in or out to bring this to focus. But it's gonna be so hard to get it like dialed in because you're gonna be moving this and it's gonna look in focus and then it's not. So it's better just to set this up, get this in focus, and then adjust your eyepieces to match this, okay? That's your number one way to do this, all right? Hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions, comments. Other than that, take care.